Getting to 1,000 subscribers is a major goal of most new channels, and most new channels never make it there. And those that do, sometimes it takes them years. Not the channel we're looking at today. This guy, 4 videos, less than a month, passed the finish line, got that 1,000 subs. I got his permission, so we are going to go ahead and look at his channel and the video that catapulted him across the finish line, see what we can learn from it. So let's get into it. And one thing that's disappointing about a lot of these people who say they got monetized in like half a year or a month or a week or on their first video, it'll turn out that they have this offline following or this following on other platforms, or this is their like third or fourth YouTube channel. But that is not the case here. And as a side note, if any of you are interested in me taking a look at your channel and performing a little audit, I have a link now to my brand new mailing list down in the description. And for a limited time, I will be doing this for free just to get some experience under my belt. This will be the only time I ever do this as a standalone thing for free. So go ahead and get yourself signed up, and I will let the lucky winners know. Okay, a little bit of background. I met this guy Brett in the comments of another YouTuber's video, Rob the Maritimer, if you're familiar. If not, you should really watch his stuff. It's excellent. He's just about to cross 100,000 subs if he hasn't gotten there already. But Brett runs a channel called Hi-Fi Cabin, and he had started his channel roughly the same time I started this one. The difference, of course, being that this is not my first channel, and it was his. Another difference, of course, being is that he has passed the 1,000 sub mark and I am not. So he and I have chatted a little bit in comments and stuff, and seems like a really nice guy, and I enjoy his channel despite not knowing anything about high fidelity audio equipment. So let's go ahead and take a look. Shrink mode. All right, so let's go ahead and meet Brett. I figure we'd look at his first video, just real quick, then his channel as a whole, and then the video that launched him past that 1,000 subscriber mark. All right, everyone meet Brett.
Hello, YouTube people. If you couldn't tell, this is my first ever YouTube video. And I'm cacking my pants, genuinely. And when I get nervous, I laugh. So you might see a bit of that, because I'm very nervous. Firstly,
So, as you can see, awkward British guy. He's got that kind of awkward British charm going on. I'm not sure what you Brits did to us over in the States that makes us all think you guys are either charming or very intelligent or supervillains or possibly all three. So if you have any idea why we think that, if you could let me know down in the comments, I've always wondered. So yeah, this is Brett. A little bit of a bio here for him.
introducing myself. So, hi, I'm Brett, 40 years old, from southeast England. Husband, I am a dad, big fan of most things pre-2000. Cars, pre-2000, classic cars. Music, pre-2000. I like snooker. I love vintage hi-fi.
Now, Brett, there's a lot of good music that's come out after 2000, but that's beside the point. I'm right there with you on a lot of that stuff, though. We're roughly the same age. That's going to happen. But yeah, Brett. One thing that I will say comes off immediately is he just is very authentic as a delivery. His delivery is amazing. Like for someone who's just starting out, just incredible on the camera, I think, and only going to get better. So one more thing about in this video, and we will move on to the channel. Just kind of reinforcing that authenticity point.
Hi-fi. Most people aren't into hi-fi. I'm just trying to find my people. And I think YouTube's the place for it because the real world isn't. No one around me really loves it. So it can be a lonely place. So hopefully I can find like-minded people that love the stuff like I do and can get some enjoyment out of the stuff that I work with and work on. And yeah, so I just thought I'd share my sort of little vintage hi-fi collection.
So a little rambly, but very much from the heart. And you can just kind of feel that. That was incredible as far as the delivery goes. All right, so taking a look at his channel, first off, I would like to say that I do love that banner. I love it. I love the contrast on it. I love Resurrector as a title. I think that's amazing. Um, there's no question what this channel is about looking at the page, and that is what you want. Okay, we're at 1.18 subscribe. We're almost at 1,200. That's amazing. 6 videos. So you've got the first one here, the first and second one. You've got the intro that we just looked at, and then the setting up the studio, which I found very interesting. And then we have starting to actually work on hi-fi stuff. And you can see a difference in the title and the thumbnails between the first two and the third one moving on. A lot more words going on in that, especially down there in the title. After the second one, all the titles are 5 words or less, which is the recommended amount. The colors changed and he has a consistent theme going, which is great for branding. I can't say for certain, but I suspect that the change in thumbnail was directly as a result of the analytics review that I did. So that is interesting. And then you got the gets the orange pops, orange drives clicks. Apparently, that was one of the big takeaways I had from that report as well. But you can see there's the theme here. You got the name of the brand of the product, and then just kind of what's going on. The orange does grab the eye. So the video we're looking at is this one. Now this one did pretty well, 7.8 thousand views. He actually had a couple hundred subs after that one, which is amazing for essentially your first video that's actually speaking to your niche. But obviously, the algorithm liked his consistency. He's talking about hi-fi equipment and all of it, and it knew who to send his videos to. It knew his audience, because by the fourth video, 26,000 views now. 12 days, fourth video on the channel. That is incredible. And let's take a look at the title and thumbnail for that one. We've got Pioneer, so audio brand. That's going to be instantly recognizable to the audio files because they are all crazy and know all this stuff all the time, in a good way, guys. Yeah, I think you're crazy in a very, very cool and good way. Then you've got the in orange. I finally got one that grabs your attention. You're like, finally got what and what? What are we talking about here? And then you see the mystery package. And you're like, oh, what's in that package? And then you have the eyes there, which works just as well as an arrow. It draws your attention back over to the package. Don't even have like a person face in any of these after the first two, which I found interesting. But I think the thumbnail really works quite well. It does exactly its job. It opens some curiosity gaps. You're like, oh, what is in that package? Really does, I think, a good job at stopping the scroll. And it's also well laid out. You've got the package right at the bottom third line if you're doing the rule of thirds. So you've got the eyes over there on that one. And it's just a very well laid out thumbnail. I actually almost I don't know, maybe he has a background in graphic design or something like that, or knows somebody. I don't know. All right, so the scroll has been stopped by this thumbnail, and I think quite well. And then we go ahead and look at what the promise is of this video. What is the title? My dream vintage receiver. Oh, that's interesting. That must be what's in the package. What is your dream? It's broken. Oh no. So 2 more curiosity gaps there. We've expanded on the what's in the package. We know it's his dream receiver. We know it's Pioneer, but broken, that opens up 2 main thoughts. A, how is it broken? And B, did you know it was broken when you ordered it? That's 2 things that I want answered. My brain wants that filled. So excellent title to draw someone in. It has the promise of what you're going to see in this video. It lays it out quite well. You know exactly what you're getting into. So the title and the thumbnail here work together excellently. They are very well done and communicated in so few words. That is what you want to see. You know, you mouse over this, you see Crocodile Dundee. You know exactly what scene that is, even if you've never seen the movie. I've never seen the movie. I know what scene that is.
Hello and
So
welcome
this is the
to
video.
me, to my channel, and to this cardboard
Yep,
box.
he opens all
Now,
of his
that
videos
probably
that way,
doesn't
also
sound very
great for
exciting,
branding.
but inside this box is a receiver that I've been trying to find for 2 years at a fair price. not easily done anymore. Now, I do want this to be a little bit of a surprise, so you're just going to have to indulge me for a moment. But I've been genuinely trying to find one of these for 2 years. I've seen many for sale, 700, 800, £1,000, and
Okay, we've hit the 30-second mark, and this is where most of your common advice says your hook should be delivered at this point. And it is not, because our friend Brett is a little bit rambly sometimes, which I do think adds to his authenticity, but rambly is rambly and people do like clicking off of things. But we have expanded on the curiosity gap. We know what he's been looking for, the receiver. We know that he's been looking for it for a couple years. We know that he's been looking for it for a fair price. What is a fair price? He starts listing numbers. Uh, could this part be a little faster? Yes, it could. This is very good advice. If you're ever rewatching one of your videos and you feel tempted to skip part of it, that is the part that you should be cutting. Because if you're tempted to skip it, then you might very well lose the audience. So anyway, we are not done with the hook yet. We are at 30 seconds.
it's not the sort of money I'm looking to spend. And
I will say that this background music is too loud. It is noticeable, and if you have background music, the goal is for you not to notice it. It's there to fill in the silence, to set the mood. It's not there to actually be heard.
I wouldn't mind spending that much, potentially, if they were fully serviced, fully refurbished, gorgeous showroom condition pieces that are going to last 20 years. But if you're into vintage hi-fi, you'll know that's very rarely the case. I've been wanting to pick one up that I can have as a project, fully recap, and then enjoy it for years and years, knowing that it should last another 20 years. So that's my intention with this. This is definitely a project. I've bought this knowing that it doesn't work.
All right, well, that answers the does he know it doesn't work thing.
I know that it's missing pieces, but I don't know why it doesn't work. I don't know what pieces it's missing. I do know that the wooden case is present, but the...
Okay, I just wanted to fill that gap in too. He did know that it was broken, but he doesn't know how exactly it's broken. That is good. It closes one of the loops, but opens another. Now we're wondering, oh, how is it broken then? But we are at 1:14, and we're still going through the hook. We're kind of repeating ourselves a little bit. I would like to see his retention graph for this part to see if there's a dip, to see what his retention was through the hook, because it definitely could be punched up and trimmed down. But he is very minimal in the editing, so that is part of his style, which is, that's good.
all the bolts that hold them on aren't. So, and I know that they've packed this in a very flimsy box for a very heavy unit, so I'm a little bit concerned. But I want to unbox it. I need to check it. It's arrived today. I thought I'd video it so you guys can watch me unbox it and see my reaction.
Definitely rambling and repeating himself at this point.
See what kind of condition it's actually in. I've got my cup of tea. I've got my knife.
That's not a knife.
So let's get it open.
All right, so there's the payoff on the Crocodile Dundee thing. I mean, that can't even be planned. That was a curiosity gap that he got by virtue of the YouTube algorithm. You can tell he's a bit nervous still on camera, even though his delivery is still quite good. He keeps a very even tone, so he doesn't let that through that much. But yeah, a little bit rambling. I mean, I can relate to that for sure, but not a bad hook. And it does go to show you that not everything has to be perfect for a video to really take off. So that is, I think, a great takeaway from this part. Right. Yeah, so that was 1:43. That's how long the hook took. And now we're doing a theme-songed intro, which common advice these days is to skip. If you have any sort of intro, just to have it be a couple seconds. This is more of a kind of an old YouTube thing where you always had these little intros like this. I think it works for him personally. I mean, it could possibly be a little shorter. It comes in at 13 seconds, I think, but it showcases a bunch of vintage hi-fi equipment that he just has. So I think it adds to his authority in the space. So you have to kind of weigh that against the advice not to do this anymore. It is also very loud compared to his voice, and this is a consistent problem through the video where I want to turn the video down when songs are playing and up otherwise. This is something that can be easily fixed. That's just sound levels. I do like the song though. Again, with that's just a good graphic design layout. I'm very curious what his background is. I hadn't really thought about it until now.
Okay, let's do it.
Yeah, we are.
Now I don't know which way up this is.
Too loud. There we go.
So it could very well be upside down. I don't know how well the sellers packaged this. The box is incredibly flimsy for a unit that weighs this much. I think these units weigh about 40 pounds or 18 kilograms, something like that. That gives you a slight indication.
That is a little hint for the audiophiles that might narrow it down, so that helps kind of fuel the curiosity gap. Also, always interesting to me how the British use both pounds and kilograms and sometimes stone to talk about weight, depending on what kind of weight they're talking about. It's very strange, but kind of interesting.
If you're expecting me to open this and it's a Pioneer SX 1980, spoiler alert, it's not. It isn't a flagship receiver, but it is
Something
a receiver
for the enthusiast
from
right
the
there.
70s, and one that I've been really excited to get hold of, which I will explain exactly why once it's open.
Mini
I
hook.
reveal it. And while he's getting that unboxed, we're going to head up to Lincoln in the
this part's
UK
always
and
fun.
find JFix. JFix is an electronics repair technician on YouTube and has added me to a whole community of repair technicians, and I'm super grateful for that. Absolute legend. Guys, go check it.
All right, so this is something that he does in all of his videos. He recognizes a couple of his followers, either ones who have offered up their information or people who, I guess, have their subscriptions public, which is cool. It helps build a sense of community. Another thing to note is that he just said that this guy got him into a online community of audiophiles and YouTubers, which, could very well have given him a little bit of a boost. I mean, that's just networking. That's something that everyone should be doing. So that's a good tip too. Find your people. You can find your people outside too and link in with them. So that probably gave his channel a little bit of a boost. I mean, it does not explain 25,000 views. I mean, this guy only has 6,400 subscribers. So even if he made a video and every last one of his subscribers saw him, give him the shout out, maybe 10%, maybe 20% of them are going to click over. That's just a few hundred of us, nowhere near the 25,000 that we're looking for. So, like I said, might have started some momentum for him, but it's not the whole reason. I'm that yellow pin right there. Right there. I am this yellow pin. Hi, me.
Super grateful for that. Absolute legend. Guys, go check his channel out. Back to me.
Music once again too loud. Haha. I thought it would be upside down because of the way the tape was. So, I don't know if you could tell through that, but he was definitely talking, so this was not intended to be fast forwarded through. I think it was the correct decision because he was, again, getting a little bit rambly and a little bit repeaty in his unboxing. So, good decision to speed through that part.
Ooh, I'm excited. There's a missing piece. I can see missing pieces already. Let me know if you guessed this before I revealed it. Let me know at what point you got to in the video when you guessed it,
And
or
again,
when you noticed what it was and recognized it.
the music here is too loud. If you can notice the music, it is too loud.
I bought this knowing it wasn't showroom condition. I bought this knowing very well it would be a full project and refurbishment job, which suits me down to the ground. I'm really excited by it.
All right, so yeah, he bought it knowing that it would be a big project, so that's good knowledge.
Exactly what I said. Gonna leave tape residue behind.
That was quite the noise. Oh, exactly what he said. So that must be something that he said during the fast forwarded portion. That is something, I guess, to watch out for. It's not really that big a deal. A little continuity error. Most people don't pick up on that kind of stuff. But again, your videos don't need to be perfect. They don't need to be masterfully edited. They don't need to have perfect sound levels. They don't need to have the best script. You don't even need to have like the tightest, non-rambly delivery. If you are authentic and you have correctly communicated to YouTube what your niche is, you will find your people.
I'm still glad he did it, as I say, because I would not want a broken wooden case. So I will accept that.
Too loud, Brett. Yeah. So
Sticky
you
stuff.
can tell that the numbers are different.
Stuff.
The exposures are different on his two cameras. Because look at the difference in the skin tone here, and then when we go to the other camera. I went back too far, didn't I? There.
Sticky stuff.
This one, I think we're shifted a little bit magenta, so that's not a big deal. Again, just showcasing you don't have to be the world's best color grader or editor or know anything about that sort of thing. The important thing is just to make content people want to watch.
What is this? Is that an antenna? Oh, what is that? I don't even know what that is. Oh my goodness me. Oh, okay. Some sort of auxiliary in. But yeah, the big reveal. Calm down. First, we need to go up to Norway and find Geir Anderson
Rude.
at Let Us Repair. Another repairs electronics electrician with a really cool, interesting channel. Super nice guy.
This guy at Let Us Repair has less subscribers than our man Brett now, so that's interesting. 205 videos. Wow, that is more the common pathway. So don't feel bad if you don't have 1,000 subscribers in 4 videos. This is not the norm, but it's still fun to pick apart, huh?
Guy, go check him out.
It's a
He's a
thing.
Pioneer SX838, and I've wanted one of these for 2 years. Now the reason for this, I know it's not a monster receiver. I think these are 50 watts per channel from the mid to late 70s. And the reason I've wanted one of these so much is because my first ever piece of vintage equipment was a Pioneer SX828, the generation before this. I bought that broken. I had a local service guy who's since retired. I had him repair a couple of faulty tape monitor switches. And when I got that thing home and I plugged it into some real run-of-the-mill speakers, I was blown away at how good it sounded. And that's where my infatuation with vintage hi-fi started, with the Pioneer SX828.
Now, little stories like this actually do a lot to help you connect with the audience. Probably every audiophile has a story more or less like that moment they realized that this was the hobby for them. Similarly, that's like when I realized YouTube was for me, when I found myself watching my 10 millionth video by either Vanessa or Ty or Alexa or Rob or any one of the ones that I follow. Just realizing how much I'm really enjoying all of this. That feeling when you're like, wow, this is I think for me, that is a great feeling. It's just an awesome feeling.
And not long after that, I wanted to hear one of these. This is an 838. This is the next generation. Now, if vintage audio's taught me one thing, it's that later generations don't always mean improvement. Often, it's quite the opposite. But in regards to this is a highly regarded receiver, all this X3X line. This is the 838. There was a few below. You had the 737, the 636, the 535, 434, and then above it there were 2. There was the 939 and the 1010. So this...
See, I found this interesting because this is obviously very much beginner information. So I'm not certain what exactly the knowledge level is of his target audience, because sometimes he talks like, obviously you know this stuff already, and sometimes he goes through the basic stuff for you. So I think honing in on that would be good for him. But I think doing stuff like this is very good for like someone like me. I don't know any about this, so I think this is quite good. I feel like this part of the segment of the video is for me.
Sat somewhere just above the middle of the range, toward the higher end. But I can't seem to pick these up for less than £600, and that's unserviced, untested. Seller might say it's working, but you know what that's like. And recently, any examples of these that I've seen pop up, they've been for £800. You click on the images and the wood's all tarnished and the face is all dirty and scratched and it's never been serviced, or there's no mention of any service, and they're still asking £800. So this one popped up, and I'll show you what it's missing in a moment. But this was under £200, which is still might be quite a lot, but for me, I'm happy to spend that amount.
All right, so you could hear the passion in his voice when he was talking about trying to find it. That is that is just that is authenticity, like gold. And he's not trying because he doesn't have to try. This is him talking about his passion. And that goes a long way when people can just kind of feel how much you believe in what you're talking about. That goes a long way to connect you to those people and get them to watch your videos more. Also, the fact that he got it for £200, given the other numbers that he was saying, that is quite the deal. I'm impressed by that, and that does close another curiosity gap. But it then again widens the, oh God, what is wrong with it then?
And then I'm going to put a lot of money and time into it, trying to get it to a nice mint condition, perfectly serviced and running, fully refurbished, 838 receiver, and I'm going to be over the moon with it to sit alongside my 828, and I can't wait. Anyway, so it's the 838. It is not in a very good condition. First glance, I'm missing some stuff. This trim piece here, this
I'm sorry, I have to point out the music end. I think it's 20 decibels below what you are coming in at speaking. That's roughly where the music should be, maybe even quieter. Just like I said, if you can notice it when other sound is happening, it is too loud.
wooden pillar piece there isn't one here. I'm going to have to make one.
Make one. That's
This
right.
case.
That's cool.
The case looks okay. The case is, I can save this. There we go. As I said, there's no bolts. But the case, it's a bit scratched up, for sure. But it's salvageable. So I'm happy with the case.
So he is shooting on two different phones, which I managed to talk him out of buying a camera yet. And I think they're working out for him, but I do think that he needs to get the settings in kind of an alignment.
Okay, first glance inside. Well, let's stay on the outside. From the front, there's quite a lot of scratching on the black paint across the panel. So that's going to need addressing. There's a lot of scratches along the faceplate. There is a missing power.
Yeah. So this part, I would recommend if you are going to be moving around a camera, especially like a video camera, you need something that will keep it stable, or you definitely need to activate the stabilization or both, because this shaky thing, that's no good. I want to click off because I'm getting a little shook up here. Yeah, I talk about stuff like that in the camera video that I have done up there about what actually you can do to make your videos look better. So stability is a big one.
Knob. That's always useful. So I'm going to have to source one of those. Generally quite dirty. As I say, the black paint really has scratched off in lots of places.
Doing a
So
good
that's
job
going to be interesting.
showing and
What I do
telling
about
here.
these buttons and how they're worn. Not sure yet, but I'm still excited. I'm not going to try and power it on because I'm told it doesn't. In fact, there's a missing relay. I think time to bring this camera over.
Not sure why
Okay,
that
so now
shot was
looking inside,
necessary.
there are RCA sockets just loose.
He's doing an
There are
excellent job
cables
of
cut.
going over everything that's wrong, though.
There is a complete missing relay by the looks of things. But actually,
The saying the things and then having the close up of the thing pop up, I think that was well done. I do think that more of that would have been good too.
I've seen worse. It's a bit dusty and hairy, but it's not rusty. That goes a long way to making me feel more happy with this, because some of these old units have been kept in garages, they've been kept in sheds, and the case is all rusty and all this, it's all rusted away, and at least this isn't. So that, I'm pleased by. From the top side, it looks like...
That helps with one of the curiosity gaps that kind of closes that little loop, whether or not he is happy with the condition of his product. That's good. He's doing a very good job explaining what's wrong.
But most of the components are there, as far as I'm aware. As I say, there's some missing screws that should be holding these RCA ports in. There's some snip wires there by the looks of things. So I'll have to find out what those were for. There is a complete missing relay. And other than that, it just looks to be dusty. It doesn't look like there's a lot else missing. There is this absolute butchered cable here. I don't know where those two wires, if you can see. Let me grab that. This cable, which has got some aftermarket little 3.5mm socket on the end of the long cable with some insulation tape. It's all done very, very well. But that runs, and it ran to here. I mean, that is just shocking, isn't it?
See, one thing I would like to point out is most of what we just saw, I probably would have cut. I would have gone straight to this shot here to show where it is and what is going on. But that is interesting because this runs counter to a lot of YouTube advice where it's like, don't take time to do things. You're taking the audience's time, and it's precious. You have to do everything you can to make everything fast and punchy. No, but he is just talking about his thing. Still very passionate about it, still communicating that very well, and it is just flat out working for him. So that just kind of goes to show you that not all advice is applicable to everyone, and you need to figure out what works for you to make your videos pop.
Lovely. Not sure where those original cables went, but I will find out. Quick look at the back of the unit. Let's say these RCA jacks here should be obviously mounted here with screws, but
I haven't thought about RCA in a while.
The jumper jacks are there. That's good. Those can often be missing, and that's not broken. That's good, because those are often broken.
What is that, though? See,
speaker terminals all look good.
That's what I'm talking about, where I don't know what skill level his channel is supposed to be for. Just saying that's not broken, but I don't know what that is. So I guess it's not broken, though, so that's good.
And these are so much better than the speaker terminals on the 828. If you know, you know.
I don't know.
Well, in general, and there's no feet. Let's have a quick look underneath. Some more tape, but no feet. No feet to speak of. So it's safe to say there's a lot to do with this. Well, yeah, you might have a lot to do with that receiver, but I need to fly all the way back from Norway and land in Cornwall to find Louise at Retro Deck Vibes. She's come and follow me for my Instagram channel, and I'm super appreciative. So guys, go give her a follow. Cheers.
I know I said he didn't really have some following coming from anywhere else. He does have an Instagram channel, but last I checked, it had like 600 followers, and I could get that taking a couple pictures of my dog like by tomorrow. So not really a huge thing. Would not really have had an impact on his success here.
Back to me. Let me know in the comments what you think would be better, to have a whole series on this receiver and have 20-30 minute episodes on how I recap, 20-30 minute episodes on how I go about the faceplate, likewise how I refurbish the cabinet? Or would it be better to have one longer video, hour and a half, the whole thing start to finish as one big project in one long video? I think that's where my head's at, but let me know if you think it would be better as a series.
Interesting that he said 20 to 30-minute episodes, because that is, again, in that analytics report that I went over, one of the sweet spots for views per hour. So I do wonder if that came from that, or it's just circumstance. It's just I wonder if that number came from that report or if it was just coincidence. And to answer his question, or at least what I think the answer to his question is do both. You set up the 20 to 30-minute videos, and once you get through it, you edit them all together. Maybe put some commentary in between bits, stuff that you may have forgotten to mention, tie it all together, and put out one big uh, bingeable, like, content marathon of it. And I think that is the avenue that he should take. That is a recipe for success there, and he agrees with that.
But yeah, let me know what you think. I'm really excited with this. Just thought I'd do a video of the unboxing and just share this. Look out for that coming on the channel. If you want to see that sort of content of full refurbishments, please hit the like button and subscribe button, because I think this unit's going to feature on the channel a little bit. And once fully refurbished, a direct comparison against my 828 side by side.
I would have liked to see the like and subscribe call to action. Just be subscribed, honestly, or generally you want to keep it to one, maybe two things. And he did ask for comments, so just leaving it as subscribe is probably the way to go. But I would have liked to probably see that earlier in the video, like maybe around the 3-minute mark, like when he was unboxing or something. That would have been a good thing to slip in during that part. At the end, though, he's obviously at the end of the video. I bet if we looked at his retention graph right here, it would drop off like crazy, just because he's signaling that the video is over. I have asked him for like screenshots and stuff of his retention things. If you guys get back to me with that, maybe I'll make a short or something about that and link it there. Or that might never lead to anything where I'm pointing right now. That might never be anything.
See how they compare. So just a quick video of the unboxing of my new but very used Pioneer SX838 stereo receiver. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.
Too loud again. So I can't stress enough how important audio is. Super important. Okay, I like that he faded to black before letting the music go, but I think the music should have cross-faded out as well. But again, what did we see here? Let's move over here and go growth mode. All right, so we saw some good YouTube advice followed, especially with title and thumbnail. Not with the hook so much, but again, it just goes to show that not all advice works the same for everybody. And the main takeaway I got is he is consistent in his channel. YouTube knows what his audience is going to be. There's no trying to shove ADHD content in with YouTube production content and confusing the heck out of the algorithm like I've managed to do. So obviously very passionate about it, very passionate, very authentic, and he comes across that way very well. Also, he very clearly cares about his audience with the map thing, and that makes people feel included. It makes people feel like they're part of what's going on. Asking how he should present his comment, that makes people feel like they're part of something bigger and they're helping it grow themselves. So there's a lot here to learn from that's good. But the biggest takeaway is just kind of be your authentic self and don't confuse the algorithm. Be your authentic self. The big take again, the big takeaways. So yeah, it's the big takeaways. Thumbnail, title, clearly grabbing attention, clearly making the promise of the video, communicating what they're about to see, and opening those curiosity gaps, keeping those curiosity gaps going through it, the authenticity, It wasn't like a perfectly produced production, and that's fine too. Like people are going to resonate with that. People don't need ultimate polish all the time. Something that feels real, especially in this age of AI, is going is going places. It's good to have that human bit in there, and Brett is very very good at that. I'm like 99% sure he's not a robot. He's very good at being human. So yeah, once again, if you would like me to do this for you privately, go ahead and sign up for the email list, and just sign up for the email list even if you don't, because it's a good time. It's going to be a good time. And of course, like I said, privately, I'm not going to dissect anyone on the channel who doesn't want to be. And if you haven't even started your channel yet, I recommend checking out this video about why now is an excellent time to start YouTube and why I am doing it myself. I look forward to seeing you there.